All right, guys. Good morning. Here we're on Wednesday, September 14th. We'll be getting started here in just a sec. So, hang on 1 second. All right. Well, we got two people to pop in. That's good. All right. Just want to get a bottle of water here. Laura from Utah. Welcome. Your name, I think, is David Marsh. All right. Let's get this party rolling here. Today we're going to talk about the daily tasks, what you should be doing inside Conversion every day. This is one of the, there's not a lot to do inside Conversion, but kind of can be sometimes a little monotonous, but this is your everyday to-dos is what we're going to go over. So let me make sure my phone's on vibrate. Silent, we're good to go. All right. You guys have any questions at all? Laura, if you hit the little chat button up there, you can type in there and I can see what if you have any questions. So feel free to go ahead and ask anytime, okay? So when we're in our conversion dashboard like we are right now, this is, once you log in, this is what you see, okay? If you have any new leads in here, there'll be a green box. Your red box is your 10 calls, your to-dos, your tasks, whatever you want to call it. Those are what you need to do by the end of the day, okay? Now, you want to be sure that you knock most of these out, okay? Because if you do miss 35, it'll kick you out, it'll lock you out of the system, and then we have to go in and manually reset you, okay? So be sure you knock those out, and we'll show you what to do with those in here in just a sec, okay? Now, I don't have any new leads, so that's okay, because probably I didn't do what I needed to do the day before as far as my lead gen, okay? Lead generation is top priority every day. That is doing your Craigslist posts, doing your Facebook ads, doing your blogs. With all of those blogs, we're syndicating them out. We're posting them to Twitter. We're posting them to Blogger. We're doing all of that stuff, okay? If you do that stuff religiously, you guys will have green boxes in here every day. Okay. Now, if you have a green box, we want to go ahead and open that lead up and go ahead and work it. So I don't have any green boxes, but I'm going to come to my active leads and we're going to pretend that this is a new lead. As soon as this loads up, here we go. All right. So, James Mills, here's my new lead that I got this morning, okay? Right here in this first paragraph, it tells me what he was looking at, okay? It tells me that he was looking at 4 properties in the San Valley, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, okay? He came from visiting from Facebook, so one of our Facebook ads, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to hashtag this lead. Now, what we mean by hashtag is we're creating a folder for this lead to be categorized in. Okay, don't think of it as hashtag in the Twitter, Facebook world. Hashtag, wow, I don't even know. But brain's not thinking, all right, like, you know, hashtag luxury group or hashtag, yay, it's September 14th. You know, I'm just being a little funny there, but that's not what it is. We're creating a hashtag for a folder. Okay, if you look over here on the left, where it says hashtags, okay? Notice it has a little folder next to it. That's because all we're doing is creating a folder and putting the lead into a folder, okay? And there's reasons for that. So what we're going to do is we saw that he was looking in Santan Valley. First of all, we want to hashtag our lead mass because we want all of our leads in one folder. Makes it easier for some future things we do down the road. We also want to hashtag the city that they're in. Hashtag Santan Valley. Notice I put no spaces in there, okay? You can't have spaces. I'm also going to hashtag Santan Valley. I'm also going to put the price that it's in. Now, I keep it in $50,000 increments, so it's listed at, or they were looking at houses about $132,000. So I'm going to round it up to the next 50. So I'm going to say hashtag Santan Valley 150. That tells me that they're looking in Santan Valley for a home under $150,000. Okay. Once again, for when it comes to reverse marketing, this helps us mail the right information out to them. Okay. So once I have those 3 hashtags in, I just go ahead and drop this little drop down and hit add note. Okay. So now I hit add note. Notice now it says hashtags right here, and it has hashtag mass, hashtag Santan Valley, hashtag Santan Valley 150. So this James Mills is in all 3 folders. How you doing? So they're in all 3 folders. Okay. So that's the first step that we do. Where's mine? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Somebody just came in to watch this video. He brought in the cafe with caramel and chocolate and whipped cream. I'm kidding. Comes in and teases me with that, and I'm just teasing him. So, all right. So that's the first step we do is we come in, we look at what they were looking at, and we put them in hashtags according to folders. Second step, what we do is we come in here and want to make sure they're on a drip campaign that we want them on. Right now, they're on the luxury initial drip campaign. We can change that. For some reason, the hashtags haven't been triggering them, but we can come in here and go to the profile tab, and we can come in here and where it says drip campaign, we can select which one that we want them on. Okay. So I'm just going to leave them on the initial drip right there, but just so you know that that's how you can do it. If you want to send them to one of the lenders that's in here, then all you do is just select who you want that lead to go to. Okay, once you make a change there, you hit update info. Now, the next step, what we want to do is we want to get them set up on alerts. What I mean by alerts are alerts that go out to the lead, just like an MLS listing alert that goes out. Okay, now, if I hit the alerts tab, it automatically defaults to a single family home. Okay, but if they're looking for condos or rentals or townhouses, you can select there. This lead other than what's in this little paragraph right here. So we know they're looking in Santan Valley, so we're going to come here to area 1 and we can leave this as city. But if they were looking for a specific neighborhood or a school that you find out after talking to them, we can adjust that way. We know that they're looking for Santan Valley. Now, normally it comes blank like that. You have to start typing and select. You just can't select one of the items that are in there. So they're looking for Santan Valley, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Now, this one, the computer automatically set it for you. It kind of has artificial intelligence to where it looks at what they're looking at and will set a price point. Well, we know that they were looking for a max of about 150 because it's 132. So I'm just, it's okay. I mean, we can leave it there. It's $50,000 range. But normally I would change that to 150 to 100, but it doesn't matter. It's the same range. Okay. I don't know too much else about this lead, so I'm going to leave a lot of this stuff blank because I haven't talked to them. Once I do that, I hit the update button at the bottom. And what that does is it'll pull a list of homes. As you see here, here's the list of homes that it pulled. Now, if you go into the MLS, you're going to say, Mark, there's more than a sale in Santan Valley here. Yes, I understand that. But you notice that this only goes to 7 days. It's the homes that are only been on the market 7 days or newer that get populated in this. Okay? So if you don't do anything else right now, this will be emailed to them the next email that goes out. They email twice a day. I don't know the times, but they email out twice a day. If you don't do anything, you're good there. They actually just changed it. So let me see what they did here. You can actually text this link to, nice, new feature they just added. Because usually it would be email full listing to lead. So if you want to get this out to them right now, we can just hit email or we can hit text, okay? Well, this is a new feature, so I'm going to go ahead and try it. So it brings up a text message here, some listings I picked out for you. It has the link to them all, MLS ID. If you have, okay, so if you have like your own specific listing that included in that list, you can put that in there and then you hit send text. Now that lead got text that list of homes. Cool, that's a cool feature they just added. But those will also be emailed out to them in the next email. So that's kind of a neat new feature. All right, so there's our alerts. Now, if they have a phone number, which you can see right here, they also will have a call tab here, okay? If there's no call tab, it means they don't have a phone number. Now, we only concentrate most of our effort on the people that have the calls, that have a phone number, okay? If they were not to have a phone number, we'd be done with them and we'd move on to the next lead. But because this one does have a phone number, we're going to schedule follow-up calls and tasks by clicking this little schedule calls tab. We're going to come in here and we're going to type follow-up calls. We're going to select a date that we want to start this, okay? So today's the 14th. We're going to start them tomorrow. Time doesn't matter. We definitely want to make this a no. Get rid of the yes for syncing with Google, because if you don't, your phone will be blowing up with reminders all the time for a very long time. And it gets very annoying, okay? So be sure to unsync that with your Google. Not saying to do it all the time. Like if you really want something to notify you, then go ahead and obviously leave it yes. But if it's just these follow-up calls, definitely make that no, okay? Repeat calls, we're going to click yes. We're going to schedule 5 calls over the next 2 weeks on a brand new lead. Okay, so let me explain the reason why we do 5 calls over the next 2 weeks. Industry standard is it takes an average of 8 attempts to get a hold of somebody. Well, why are we only doing 5? The reason we're only doing 5 is because when they first sign up, they get an automatic email and text. So there's 2 tries right there. Then hopefully you'll try to call them that same day. So there's a 3rd try. So there's your 8 attempts within 2 weeks. Okay. So then we just hit add calls. Now, what that does is it brings us now to the note tab. And you notice it has a timeline of when your calls are scheduled. Okay. Now, if, let's say you get a hold of them on the 17th, okay, and you talk to them and you find out they're looking to buy, they want to come out in November, you get their whole life story, let's go ahead and mark all of these complete, okay, because notice all of these say just follow-up calls and they're just in the next 2 weeks. Let's mark them all complete. We come back to calls, we schedule calls again, and we'll say, spoke to homeowner looking to move in November, reach out to him the beginning of October, wants to buy in Santan Valley for $250,000 with a pool, blah, blah, blah. Type all in your notes that you need so you can remember. Then you're going to come in here. He told you to reach out to him in the beginning of October. So we'll call him on Saturday, We can schedule a time, and this is a time where I would leave this sync to Google, because then Google will remind you for you to make this call. Repeat calls, I would definitely do repeat calls here, because there's a chance you might not get him on that first try. So if he wanted you to call him in October because he's coming out in November, I'd maybe try 5 times. You can make this whatever, 10 times over 1 month, starting on October. Okay, so you'll try to attempt him 10 times in that 1 month. You hit add calls, and then it will schedule that. So that call will be added to your calls, to-dos, your tasks up here, okay? That way the system automatically reminds you, and now you can't forget about it, because you're gonna have 10 reminders that month to call this guy, okay? That way nobody slips off the radar and you don't lose them, and you say, oh man, I'm supposed to call this guy. You call him, guess what? You're supposed to call me at the beginning of October, and I never heard from you. So I talked to somebody else, and we are going under contract this week. You know, I hate those calls. So this just helps you stay on top of that game. That's a new lead that comes in. That's what you do on how to work it. Okay. Now, what we also do is in our active leads. Let these a little back up here. All right, so we sort them by just visited. We were pretending that James Mills was a brand new lead that came in. But we sort them, once we're done with that, by who's just visited our website. Okay, now the people that have just visited our website, these are the people who we really want to stay on top of and try to get a hold of them, because they're the people looking right now. If you look, 14, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9. You know, we have a lot of people that have been on since September 1st. These people are the people who we're really trying to concentrate on. Now, this little icon right here means that they have a phone number. Okay, if they don't have a phone number, we're still going to go in and make sure that everything is set up for them, that they're hashtagged accordingly. Okay, so this one is hashtagged right. So we're good there. We're going to come to the alerts. We want to make sure that they're looking for what they're set up for, what they're looking for. They're looking in Casa Grande for 160,000. We have Casa Grande 135 to 175, so we're good. So let's come back to our results tab, and let's work on the next lead. Okay. Now, Misty has a phone number. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure she's set up on her hashtags, but she has a couple there, so we're good there. The next thing we want to do is make sure that she's on a drip campaign as well, which she is, because she's on the Gilbert drip campaign. We want to make sure that she has calls scheduled, which she does not, okay? Last time this lead was contacted was July 23rd, so definitely due for some calls, so we're going to schedule calls. I was thinking, there we go. A lot of F's. Follow-up calls. Now, this lady I want to call. She's been on, so let's go ahead and schedule her to start today. We'll unsync that with our calendar, repeat calls. This is where we kick in our 8x12s, okay? So when people that we already have been in the system, we want to contact them or try to contact them 8 times over, you know what, we call it the 8x12s and the 8x8s, but we need to go the 8x3 months, so 8x24, okay? Because there is no, how about 36? My brain's on vacation though still. So 8 calls over the next 3 months, okay? That way we can constantly try to call her, because she's already been called 8 times in the first 2 weeks. Now we can back off and try to get a hold of her in the next few months. We'll go ahead and hit add calls. Now, she will be added. Let the finish populating here. So she'll now be added to this as a call that we need to make today. Okay. That's what we do with our actives. Now, if you get into a good rotation and doing what you're doing every day, you won't have to go through a whole page or 2 pages of people. You're only going to be going through the people that were visited yesterday on the 13th. And then once you're caught up, Mondays are tough because a lot of times you're not going to make your calls on Saturdays and Sundays. So Mondays you'll have to catch up from Sunday, Saturday, and possibly Friday if you didn't make your calls on Friday. But once you get on top of it, when Misty calls you and she finally gets a hold of you, you're going to recognize that name, Misty Zierer. And she's going to say, oh, yeah, you're looking in Gilbert and you're looking around, you're looking to buy a home that's about $400,000. You'll remember these because what happens a lot of times when we're training somebody who was an ISA, calling these leads every day, I would throw out a name and he would know everything that there was about this lead because he was in it every day, sorting these columns, making sure that they were looking at stuff, and he knew what they were looking for. And it just makes you look that much more professional and on the top of your game. Okay? So we don't stop with active leads. We then go to our clients. Now, the difference between a client and an active lead. Now, this is just for conversion purposes only, okay? A client in conversion is somebody who we have had a conversation with, whether it be in person, a phone call, a text message, or an email, okay? About real estate, not just about, hey, how you doing, nice, da, 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 where we've actually had a valid conversation and we know what they're looking for. We change them to a client. And the reason why we do that is because when their lead, conversion is designed to basically prod them until they initiate a conversation with you. Okay? Well, if you've already had a conversation with them and you know they're planning on buying a house in Santan Valley in November and they're moving here to relocate for work, the last thing we want to do is have conversion send out an email. Hey, you're looking for an investment property. When would you like to come out and view homes? Well, you just talked to the guy and he told you he was moving out to relocate in November. Okay, it just doesn't make you look professional. It definitely looks like they're in a system, and we've actually lost deals from that because people get really pissed off. Okay, so whenever you have that conversation with them, you switch them to client. To do that. So we're going to come into this lead. We're going to come to the profile tab. We're going to scroll down here a little bit to where it says status. We're just going to change them to a client, which they already are. But if they normally they'd say lead, change them to a client. Whenever you make a change on this page, you always have to hit update info for it to take effect and hold. Okay? So be sure you hit your update info. Now he'll be listed as a client. So we do the same thing that we did with our active leads. We sort them by just visited these leads, okay? And don't feel that you guys are going to convert every lead in here because you're not, okay? And don't feel defeated by it. I know when some of you guys first get started, you get 1 lead, 5 leads, 10 leads, and you get really discouraged because you haven't been able to get a hold of anybody. Don't take that personal. These leads, they need to sit in this database and they need to incubate because most internet leads start their search online to buy a home 18 to 24 months in advance. So what we're starting to see is since we made the switch over to Keller, a lot of these leads now that have been in here are starting to pop because it's time for them to start getting serious and moving. So we'll just go through this list. We want to make sure that they all have. And that's what this folder is. This doesn't mean an email. It means that they have alerts set up and they're going out. You notice how most of them all have them. Okay. All right, it's being a little slow. There we go. So we'll come in here and we'll double check their alerts, okay? A lot of times they'll start changing what they looked at, okay? So you see here that they first signed up looking in Gilbert for around 239. We come here to their alerts. Gilbert 239, and they're in that price range, so we're good. But a lot of times, even though it says they came in from Gilbert, looking in Gilbert, a lot of times this will say Chandler. Okay, it's because they're also looking in Chandler. And if that was the case, what I would do is I would come down here to area 2, and I would come in and I would add Chandler. Select Chandler, hit update, and you're good to go, because you know that they're looking in 2 different cities. Okay, I'm not going to make that change here because I know he's not. One thing that's really cool too is you can also check their activity. This is a good conversation point when you're having a phone conversation with them about, hey, you looked at a ton, I'll use a different term, you've looked at a ton of properties, and I have a program that tells me that they're all off the market except for one, the one that you looked at that on Arabian Drive in Gilbert is still for sale, but every single one of the other ones you looked at is sold. The reason you can tell it's sold is because those yellow boxes with the X's, okay? So, just a good conversation tool when you're talking this one. That obviously the price point he's looking in is a very competitive price point, which yeah, looks like it's under 250, 239,000. So as we all know, here in the Phoenix area, that those things fly off the market really fast. Okay. All right. Any questions on daily tasks, on what we do, how we do it, why we do it? Don't forget your lead genning, okay? Always start your day with some lead generation and end your day with some lead generation. You want to wake up in the morning and you want to see green boxes on this dashboard, okay? Green boxes mean new leads coming in. New leads means you're getting more deals down the road, okay? We haven't been able to pinpoint how long it takes because we just don't know, but I can tell you this, one thing we have pinpointed, for about every 100 leads, you might get 1 to 2 deals. So it takes a lot of leads to get a deal. That's why we concentrate more on our sphere and trying to get our referral business going, and we let these internet leads be the filler in there. Now, don't forget about your other routines as far as your lead genning, including your blogging, your Craigslist, and your Facebook. You can also reverse market out to your leads. We're not going to go into that today because that's another class that we teach. But you can email, go up here to quick actions. You can mass email, you can mass text. Now, with those, the reason we put them in those hashtags, I'll switch over to it real quick, is for reverse marketing purposes. The reason why is, you notice all these hashtags, they're all phone numbers, they're all folders, okay? We can type in a message. Brand new listing hitting the market in Power Ranch. Would you like to see it before it hits the MLS? Contact me at this phone number. We can come down here and we can find our Power Ranch folder. We can click it and it'll send that text message to everybody that's in that folder. Because you hashtag them Power Ranch, so you know they're looking in Power Ranch. You have open houses. You can do the same thing. You can use this to blast out information to everybody. That's the reason why we hashtag. All right, guys, that's enough for today. About 30 minutes, so hopefully you guys got something out of that. And we will talk to you next Tuesday. If you have any questions, give us a call.